Good morning, it's June 13th, Monday. I gotta check what time it is to see if I gotta move my car. I gotta move it in half an hour. So I'll do this one and I'll go home. I enjoyed reading in the Wall Street Journal the other day about a rough spell for Iranian politics. President's staff accused of sorcery in a small leafy village outside of Isfahan, which of course is famous to me for Duke Ellington's Isfahan. Beautiful song. A 67-year-old sorcerer with thinning hair and deep wrinkles deploys his supernatural powers in service of Iran's government. Syed Sadiq, an alias he goes by, sits cross-legged on the floor, dressed in loose gray pants and a long shirt. He recites Quranic verse in a low, hypnotic voice and rubs his fingers together. He is summoning Jinn, capital J-I-N-N. Invisible creatures who, according to Islamic teachings, live in a parallel world, can shift form, travel at the speed of light, and know the unknowable. I think that's perfectly reasonable. The Jinn who communicate with Mr. Sadiq are visible only to him. Right. I understand that too. Right. The Jinn who communicate with Mr. Sadiq, S-A-D-I-G-H, Sadai, I don't know, are only visible to him. You tell me how you pronounce that. The Jinn who communicate with Mr. Sadiq, are visible only to him. Okay. Sorcerers, fortune tellers, or jinn catchers, as they are colloquially known, have existed for centuries in Muslim lore. Ordinary people in Iran and elsewhere flock to these men to get spells and prayers and to communicate with jinn in order to discover the whereabouts of a lost loved one or stolen property.
Or perhaps a lost loved one with stolen property.
Now, I must admit, at first this seemed hilarious to me, until the other day I went through a ride in the country and I saw several colleges devoted to saints, Christian Catholic saints, or Christian saints, or whatever they are. And I realized, wait a minute, our belief in the mysterious and in the supernatural and is not any much different than this. I mean, people would say, oh no, it's much more reasonable. Ours is much more reasonable. Yeah? Really? So at first I was laughing because it was so funny, and then I realized, well no, that's just our prejudice against Iranian sorcery, or, you know, like voodoo and things like that, claiming it's ridiculous, whereas our own saints are totally reasonable. And the point is, I don't think so. Government officials, on the other hand, aren't known to consult with sorcerers. Or are they? Mr. Sadai is considered the top sorcerer among Iran's ruling elite, according to associates, clients, and government officials. That's sort of like Billy Graham was to President Nixon. Then the Reagans had an astrologer. Anyway, I don't think Clinton had any religious. He was too irreligious. He was a bad man. I love Bill Clinton, don't get me wrong. He says dozens of officials call on him regularly and that he has met President Ahmadinejad. I'm a dinner jacket, as Katie Couric says. I'm a dinner jacket. Ahmadinejad. He has met President Ahmadinejad twice, the last 2 years ago. The last time, 2 years ago, but has stayed in contact with the president through members of the administration. Officials seek me out because I can help untie some difficult knots, says Mr. Sadai in an interview at his summer home. We have had a long battle to infiltrate the Israeli jinn and find out what they know. The jinn being invisible creatures who, according to Islamic teachings, live in a parallel world, can shift form, travel at the speed of light, and know the unknowable. Indeed, Mr. Sadai says he doesn't waste jinn powers on trivial matters such as love and money. Rather, he contacts jinn who can help out on matters of national security and the regime's political stability. His regular roll call includes jinn who work for Israel's intelligence agency, the Mossad, and for the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency. Occasionally, he says he beckons jinn who are in the service of Arab Gulf countries. So just because we don't know we have jinn, they know we have jinn. I should have gone there and to see. I was trying to see a lovely boat that went by, but in the summer, and especially these days, look, it's just so green around here, you can't even see the river. So where was I? Some typical questions his visitors ask of the jinn. What does Israel have on Iran's nuclear program? Is it planning to attack Iran? What is Washington's plan for a soft war on Tehran? Are Arabs polluting Iran's waters? What is Saudi Arabia's contingency plan for when Shiite Islam's 12th Imam, the Mahdi, reappears from hiding to save the world? Now that's what I'm curious about too. What is Saudi Arabia's contingency plan for when Shiite Islam's 12th Imam, the Mahdi, reappears from hiding to save the world? What is Saudi Arabia's contingency plan? You see, I bought a house in Hope, way out in western New Jersey, just in case that happens. But you see, I'm laughing at them. Yet here in the United States, we had a day of rapture the other day, where the world was going to come apart, and earthquakes were going to happen, and the world was coming to an end. And I think every religion has its own day of reckoning. It's coming. It's coming. We're going to be destroyed and reborn, or reborn and destroyed, or something like that. And look, isn't that neat? Isn't that cute? Look at this, mommy and daughters going by on their little scooters. Do they know? Do those three know that the world's coming to an end? They don't. I don't think they do. Mr. Sadai's work with government officials comes as his profession is at the center of a controversy that threatens to bring down Mr. Ahmadinejad's administration. Ooh. Since late April, we wouldn't want Mr. Ahmadinejad's administration to lose power. Not lovely Mr. Ahmadinejad. Since late April, more than 24 officials in the president's inner circle have been arrested on charges of practicing sorcery and black magic. Arrested. The accusations are part of a larger struggle for power by conservative clerics and rival political factions. There you go. Mr. Ahmadinejad's detractors have accused the president and his advisors, including the presidential palace's top imam, of belonging to a cult-like ring that promotes superstition and mystical fanaticism. Now see, I was raised Catholic, and I can relate to superstition and mystical fanaticism. I mean, people would say, oh no, it's very reasonable. Not really. Some have said that Mr. Ahmadinejad is under a spell cooked up by his chief of staff, Esfanadar Rahim Mashai. I don't mean to make fun of the name, I just can't pronounce it. Esfanadar Rahim Mashai. Mr. Mashai is, I bet they'd have fun with J. Leonhart, but they kick that around pretty good. Mr. Mashai is already a controversial figure for promoting nationalism over religion, and for his alleged affinity for astrology and mysticism. Why, that's what Hitler did. Hitler got rid of a religion and started his own Nazi religion. I understand that they were very fanatical and convinced that the spirits were on their side, and that, I mean, I understand that kind of thing. When you just decide you're so powerful that you can't do anything. I mean, that you're just supernaturally entitled. And therefore you become your own religion. And the hell with God. God's an old-fashioned concept. You become your religion, your power, the nationalism, and in the case of the Germans, the Aryans. So this is an old story, really. He's just another Hitler. Oops. The president was acting strange and irrational during a recent dispute over dismissing a minister, said the Ayatollah Mohammad Taghi Yazdi in a magazine interview. The former spiritual leader for Mr. Ahmadinejad said it appeared the president's free will has been taken away. Now you see, there you go. Free will has been taken away. I understand that one. Mr. Mashai whoever he is, has denied the allegation. Oh, he's the one being charged, I guess. Mr. Mashai has denied the allegation, jokingly challenging the clerics to use their Islamic teachings to remove his spell on the president, according to the official Iranian news agency, IRNA. Whatever that means. Mr. Ahmadinejad has also denied the allegations. Those who have spoken in recent days about the influence of fortune tellers and jinn on government were telling jokes and it made us laugh. They were telling jokes and it made us laugh. Ha 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 ha. That's a funny joke. Ha 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 ha. What a funny joke. Ha 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 ha. That's a funny joke. Mr. Ahmadinejad said last month, according to Iranian media reports, that the controversy has not gone away. Opposition websites and conservative newspapers continue to carry articles poking fun at the president's inner circle. One cartoon depicted Messrs. Ahmadinejad and Mashai as two jinn with horns and tails standing side by side. Ha 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 ha. Very funny joke. Ha 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 ha. That's very funny. Make me laugh. Ha 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 ha. Make me laugh. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. That's a funny joke. Ha 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 ha. What a funny joke. Anyway, Mr. Sadai, who says he doesn't see walk-in clients or accept money for his work, read from an old Islamic manuscript and in neat Persian calligraphy, wrote spells and prayers on a thin piece of paper. He says he worries about Mr. Ahmadinejad and thinks the president has surrounded himself with the wrong kind of sorcerers. Ha 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 ha. Very funny joke. Ha 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 ha. That's very funny. Ha 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 ha. Very funny joke. Ha 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 ha. That's very funny. Specifically, Mr. Ghaffari, who might do him more harm than Israel or American jinn ever could. Now, this is Harry Potter all the way. This is strictly right out of Harry Potter. I know it. The Iranian government just read Harry Potter and said, that's how we want to do it. I have information that Ahmadinejad is under a spell and they are now trying to cast one on Supreme Leader Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei to obey them blindly. Ha 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 ha. Very funny joke. Ha 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 ha. That's very funny. One way to ward off the evil jinn is to wear a silver agate ring, A-G-A-T-E, agate ring, or to tuck one of Mr. Sadai's special spells under a rug. He says he sends Mr. Khamenei prayers every month with a messenger, although he doesn't know if he uses them or not. He doesn't know. Okay. Anyway, that's the state of Iranian politics right now, June 13th, 2011. But things will change. Things will change. Make me laugh. Ha 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 ha.